Welcome back to the Move Better Project. Today, gonna just do a quick follow along warm up. Something that for my movement coaching clients, they see at the beginning of a lot of workouts. But if you're not one of those, you can do this just as a real quick 3 minutes. Get some movement going, get a little bit of blood flow going before you start your workout. So we're gonna start. The very first thing is I'm just gonna march in place for a minute. And I look a little bit robotic when I'm doing this, but I'm thinking really specifically about what I'm doing. I'll show you a side view. The thing is, as my leg is in stance, so when it's on the ground, I want to use my glute, maintain hip extension, keep my belly tight, keep my head back, and this side is in hip extension. The other side, I'm maintaining a stable lumbar spine, and I'm getting about 90 degrees of hip flexion. So as I'm moving through that, I'm powerfully extending my hip, using my glute when I'm in stance, and then flexing it and maintaining lumbar position when I'm in swing or lifting up. With my arms, my arm that goes up is going into flexion, so reaching up overhead, and external rotation. So I'm rotating so that my bicep and the pocket of my elbow are pointed up. As I go into extension, which is what happens when the leg comes up on that side, I'm going into extension and internal rotation. So put that all together and it's a nice little movement that gets us into flexion, extension, and then a little bit of rotation as well with both legs and arms. So that's the first piece. Second, once you've been doing that for about a minute, you'll start to feel warm, start to get the blood flowing a little bit. And I just like to do a couple of rotational movements. The first is a trunk twist. So with this, I'm not being super robotic, perfectly careful about it, but I generally don't want to move my hips very much. More or less, they're going to stay kind of pointed forward, and my trunk, my thoracic spine, my chest, my ribs are going to rotate, my arms are going to swing side to side. And about 15 times in each direction, and then if you want to, you can swing your arms a little bit, make sure you don't knock over anything on your mantle, and just add a little bit to that. And again, about 15 times each direction, to take you around 30 seconds or so. I'm gonna put my hands on my hips, now I'm gonna do a hip circle, and I'm just gonna reach out as far as I can in each direction. And I wanna feel kind of the ball in the socket of the hip rotating around. I'm not really moving my lower back too much. The movement is happening really at the hips, and I'm kind of spinning my pelvis around my stable legs, which creates sort of this twisting motion in the hip joint, which is good. Again, about 15 times each direction. Should take you a little less than a minute total. And then the last thing is called the quadruped rock, so you might want to come in a little bit to see this one. You have to pet your dog and just gently move him slightly out of the way. No, you're okay, buddy. Hands and knees are on the ground, and this is really happening. I'm focused on moving at my hip, keeping my back stable. Or are you sensing a theme here? So I'm just gonna rock back and forth. And usually do this for about a minute, and I breathe in as I go back, breathe out as I come forward. Make sure you don't scare your dog. And that breathing rate is pretty fast, so you can do that when you're going slow. You're okay, buddy. And if you want to move a little bit quicker, then you can maybe do a breath for every couple rocks. Alright, so that's our basic warm-up. Try it before you get started with your next workout, and let me know how it goes. See you next time.